Breaking news, though, here from Chelmsford Magistrates Court, because an Ethiopian asylum seeker whose arrest sparked a series of protests at the Bell Hotel in Epping has just been found guilty of 5 separate charges at Chelmsford Magistrates Court, including 2 counts of sexual assault. In July, Hadush Kebatu attempted to kiss a 14-year-old girl. He then put his hand on her thigh and brushed her hair. In a separate incident, he touched a woman on her leg and tried to kiss her. Kebatu's arrest in July led to a wave of protests at asylum hotels across the country. But as I say, that verdict just coming in from Chelmsford Magistrates Court, and it is that Hadush Kebatu, who is 38, of High Road in Epping, charged, as I say, with 5 counts, 3 counts of sexual assault, 1 count of inciting a girl to engage in sexual activity, and 1 count of harassment without violence. Found guilty of those 5 charges. This live pictures from the Bell Hotel in Epping. That, of course, the location of one of those protests, the protest I was referring to there, that was sparked by this case, and it's often been referred to. But that magistrate's decision coming in the last little while, charged with 3 counts of sexual assault, 1 count of inciting a girl to engage in sexual activity, 1 count of harassment without violence. So found guilty of those 5 charges. We'll talk to our correspondent Graham Satchell out of the corner of my eye. I can see he's just putting his earpiece in outside of the courthouse. So we'll be back with Graham in a moment or two. But a huge amount of attention on this case, and of course the whole issue of illegal migration. But this Ethiopian asylum seeker arrested, sparking those series of protests, those verdicts just coming in the last little while. We haven't had sentencing yet, but it sparked a wave of protests, and we will return to Chelmsford Magistrates Court because that is where this hearing has been taking place in the last little while. Graham Satchell, as I say, is our correspondent. Graham, let me bring you in because I hope you can hear me. I was giving some of the basic detail then, but you were in court, so take me through it.
Yes, Matthew. So this trial, today in court, what we heard was the prosecution and the defence summing up their final submissions to the judge, who then retired. And we've had a very lengthy verdict given by the judge. It lasted almost an hour. But the conclusion of it is that this Ethiopian asylum seeker has been found guilty on 5 separate charges. They include 2 counts of sexual assault, 1 of attempted sexual assault, 1 of inciting a child into sexual activity, and 1 of harassment. These events all occurred in Epping, in Essex, in the east of England, in July, when it said that this Ethiopian asylum seeker approached a group of young children on a bench. They were eating pizza. He's alleged to have said that one of the girls looked pretty. She was only 14 years old. He then attempted to kiss her and said that he wanted to take her back to the hotel he was staying at, in this asylum hotel, and that he wanted to make babies with her, is what the allegation was. And then the next day, it's alleged that he met the same group of children, that he did touch the 14-year-old on her thigh, that he subsequently then touched an adult woman. None of the victims in this case are being named, on the leg. He consistently denied all of these charges and said that they were fabricated, that the children and the woman had concocted the story against him. The judge today was very clear in his summing up of this case, in his verdict, that he said that the witnesses had been consistent, that their evidence corroborated each other, and as I say, he was found guilty. He'll be sentenced later this month. I should say, Matthew, that in normal circumstances, I'm not sure that this would be getting national or international coverage. But the significance of this case is that as soon as this man had been arrested, there were significant protests outside the hotel in Epping, in the east of England, and those protests have carried on, and there's one scheduled for later today. Those protests have spread to hotels across the whole country, and it has been a summer of significant disruption where the issue of asylum, migration, people arriving to Britain in small boats has risen very significantly to the top of the agenda, and it is this case that sparked all of that.
Graham, I'll talk about the wider implications in a moment, but I just want to put onto the screen pictures showing the arrest of this man after this incident. Just let me pause and put the sound up.
Jump up for me, it's easier.
Coffee bag, yeah, for anything.
Jump up, stand up.
Okay.
Put your hands like this for me.
Okay. Thank you.
And just come and
Pop
step
that in there
onto
for me, sir. Okay, she is right. It's a
Give me 1 second, I'll call you
She
back.
is right. It's a 4.
Yeah, put that in there.
The lady in blue.
Yes, the lady, yeah.
He thinks it's
She's
the lady
drinking
in blue.
and I pass. Please call me. You are black man. You are coming, man. You are coming my home.
It's a child.
Yeah, just coming, man.
So the allegation is that you've touched a child on the inside of the groin.
I am a teacher.
Come over here, I need to search you. Don't cry, it's going to be okay. Come step onto the pavement so I've got a little bit more, bit more room. You can leave your shoes on, it's okay. Step onto the pavement here. No, stand up. Stand up.
There we go.
And then towards me.
Watch.
Those are the images that have been released. Now we've had a conclusion in this case. The 38-year-old Hadush Kebatu, you saw there in those pictures the moment of his arrest. Graham, this was back in July. Do we know when he'd actually entered the country?
Well, he told the police and gave evidence in court that he had arrived in the country on the 29th of June, and these offences occurred on the 7th and 8th of July. So he'd been in the country only a matter of a week or so. He had made his way from Ethiopia, where he claims to have been a teacher, a PE teacher, made his way through Libya, Italy, and France, up to northern France, and then crossed the channel in a small boat, and had only been in the country for a matter of a week.
And Graham, you were touching upon it, but this case sparked just ramifications and protests, not just there in Epping around the Bell Hotel, but in several locations, many locations on this issue right around the country, didn't it?
That's exactly right. There is a growing feeling, particularly where these asylum seeker hotels are, from the local residents, a growing sense of concern and worry and anger that there are large groups of men who may in some way be sexual predators. That's the worry, that's the concern. And there have been a series of protests, as you say. In some other cases, in some other parts of the country, there have also been allegations made of sexual attacks. But right across the country now, there have been week after week protests outside asylum hotels, and it has become a significant political issue with those on the righter side of the spectrum, if you like, saying that this is no longer an acceptable situation. The hotels need to be shut down immediately. The government saying that it has an intention to do that, but needs to do it in an orderly way. So, this is it's this case of Mr. Hadush Kebatu that really sparked all this in July, and we have seen an escalating series of protests ever since.
Graham, thanks very much. Graham Satchell reporting there outside Chelmsford Magistrates just moments after we had those verdicts. Just to recap, if you've just joined us, the asylum seeker Hadush Kebatu, who's 38, found guilty in the last hour or so at Chelmsford Magistrates Court of sexually assaulting a woman and a 14-year-old girl in Epping in Essex, just days after arriving in the UK on a small boat. So that news just coming in. We'll have more from the courts a little later on the programme.